When your dog makes a mistake and you give them that calm, annoyed look, you think you're just disciplining them. But right then, a deadly threat alarm goes off in their brain. I want to confess something that is honestly pretty embarrassing and hard for me to admit. For years, whenever my dog chewed the furniture, dragged a shoe across the floor, or made a mess on the carpet, I thought giving them a hard, silent, and annoyed look was exactly what a calm, perfect owner should do. I figured I wasn't hitting them. I wasn't yelling. I was just staring steadily into their eyes to show them how disappointed and annoyed I was. Whenever I gave them that look, they would shrink down, lower their head, and look away. And I felt satisfied inside, thinking, okay, they get what they did wrong, and they feel guilty. I used to wonder to myself, why does my dog always make that guilty face right after doing something wrong? Studies show that 74% of dog owners strongly believe their dog can actually show a guilty look or an expression of remorse. But according to dog behaviorists, that look has absolutely nothing to do with guilt. It is just pure, unfiltered fear. But have you ever stopped to think about what your slightly annoyed look and steady stare actually looks like to your dog? Why do they take your calm look as a silent threat, or, to put it bluntly, a deadly warning? And why does hearing you say the word "no" in an angry voice not actually teach them anything, but just confuse them even more? The biggest and scariest question is your calm stare quietly destroying your beautiful, loving relationship piece by piece? You might be an owner exactly like me, someone who loves their dog just like their own kid. You buy them the most expensive food, take them on weekend trips, bring them pricey toys, and proudly tell everyone you never lay a hand on them. You think that your calm but strict stare is the most civilized and best way to discipline them. I used to think sometimes, why do dogs stare so closely into human eyes when other animals try to avoid it? The truth is, over thousands of years of evolution alongside humans, dogs learned to read our eye language and our expressions in a way no other animal on Earth can do perfectly. But right here hides the scariest truth that most of us owners don't even know. Your calm look is not sending them a calm message at all. Instead, it sends a signal to their brain that they judge using their primal instincts. When I first started reading about animal behavior and finally understood the real science behind my dog's guilty look, honestly, my heart skipped a beat. Because the ASPCA and different studies on canine body language are totally clear and brutally true. In the dog world, in their own language, staring directly into their eyes without looking away is not just normal discipline, and it is not parenting. It is directly a predator's stare down. Stop. Think about it. This is not discipline. Your dog doesn't see your calm, annoyed face as a disappointed human expression. In their eyes, you are a wolf directly challenging them and trying to dominate them. Your steady stare is fluent wolf language. And once they get that threat signal, your dog cannot unhear it or delete it in any way. They feel massive panic inside, thinking you might jump on them or attack at any second. Now you might think, I have never hit them in my life, so why would they be so scared? Shouldn't they understand I am just disciplining them? This exact question takes us deeper into this psychological mystery, where human emotion and dog instincts stand face to face. We humans love talking while looking into each other's eyes, and we think of it as a sign of honesty, confidence, and attention. But in the canine world, inside a wolf pack, direct eye contact means a direct confrontation. When two wolves or wild dogs stare at each other without blinking like this, it means a fight is coming, and someone has to give up. When your dog makes a mistake, maybe they chewed up your favorite shoe, and you give them that steady, disappointed look. It rings an alarm bell in their brain's amygdala. I ask myself sometimes, do we really understand these serious stress signals in dogs, or do we just force our own emotions onto them? Cortisol studies on canine stress show that when dogs get scared, they give off at least 10 to 15 tiny microsignals that we humans don't even notice. But what are these signals that we keep missing day after day? Have you noticed that when you scold them or look at them with angry eyes, they might suddenly lick their lips, look away slightly, or let out a big yawn? You probably think they are ignoring you, or they feel bored, or maybe they are just a little tired. But no, these are not normal behaviors at all. These are classic stress signals like whale eye, lip licking, or freezing. That means they are trying desperately to calm you down. They are screaming through their body language, "Please don't attack me. I give up. I don't want to fight you." But since you don't understand that, you get even angrier seeing them yawn or look away, and you think they aren't listening and are just being stubborn. What a weird and painful misunderstanding, right? I wonder sometimes, how exactly do human facial expressions process inside a dog's brain? Researchers have done fMRI scans and found that when a dog looks at a human face, the exact same parts of their brain light up as ours do when we see someone we are really close to. They literally evolved to read our faces. But when they see a hard stare on that exact same face, the love center in their brain shuts down instantly, and their amygdala starts firing. They don't see you as their owner or friend anymore. They see an alpha predator. This silent threat releases a huge amount of cortisol or stress hormones inside their body. The amount of stress hormones that flood your dog's blood from just 1 minute of your angry stare can take up to several hours to drop back to normal. That means you might forget about it after 5 minutes and go to pet them, but their brain is still stuck in that panic state. What an awful tragedy, right? Think about it again. When we train a dog, we want them to learn something new. But the most important thing for learning is a safe environment. No animal can learn in fear, they only react. When you give your dog that threatening look, you are actually ripping away their chance to learn. You force them into a situation where they have absolutely no other option but to shut down. And we mistakenly write off this shutting down as them understanding their mistake or feeling guilty. That is the biggest human ego. We just assume animals judge everything exactly the way we do. You might be thinking, so what do we do when we catch our dog making a mistake? Do we just say nothing? Everyone says it. Trainers say it. That you have to strictly say no to discipline a dog. And this old rule of showing fear was taught to us by those outdated dominants or alpha trainers, who still claim today that you have to scare a dog to control them. Right here I used to think, maybe there really isn't any positive or correct way to discipline a dog. Maybe we just have to keep quiet and accept all their destructive behaviors or mistakes. And maybe that's where the problem ends. But hold on a second. The story doesn't end here. Actually, the real solution, or the real science-based fix, starts right from this exact spot. Because there is a scientifically proven and much more humane way to discipline a dog that doesn't scare them, but actually builds up their trust even more. And before learning that amazing trick, we have to understand why shouting the word no, or any kind of punishment, doesn't actually work. I often used to wonder, when I get mad and tell my dog no, do they actually understand exactly what I am telling them not to do? According to behavioral studies and positive reinforcement research, The word no has no specific meaning to dogs. It is just a negative sound, a loud noise. But the funny and also frustrating part is, when you yell no, your dog takes it as a form of attention. Even if it is negative attention, it is still attention to them because they got a reaction out of you. As a result, they keep doing that bad thing over and over just to grab your attention. And when you punish them or walk up to them with a ton of negative energy, they feel that exact angry vibe and negative energy from you. Their brain then gets kicked out of learning mode and drops straight into survival mode. And a scared, stressed dog can never learn anything new. They just want to survive that situation, and they learn how to be afraid. Your predator stare down might stop them temporarily for that moment, but it doesn't create any permanent learning or good habits. So what is the real solution? How do we break out of this terrifying wolf language and cycle of fear? The solution is super simple, but the impact is massive, almost like magic. The first and most important thing to do is to change your own eye contact and your body language. When your dog makes a mistake, do not look directly at them with that threatening, steady stare. Use soft eyes, shift your focus away a little bit, and blink. Completely stop that silent predator look. I asked myself, what is actually the fastest way to get a dog on the right track or discipline them without scolding or scaring them? Professional dog trainers and behaviorists say redirection, or shifting a dog's focus somewhere else, is the most effective method, which works way better than punishment and lasts much longer. But how do you actually do this redirection practically when they are chewing up your favorite sofa right in front of your eyes? When they are biting the furniture or doing something bad, instead of yelling at them, give them a basic command they know. Give them a job to do. Tell them to sit or stay, or bring them one of their own toys. When they hear your command and sit down or take the toy in their mouth, reward them, praise them, and give them positive energy. This makes it super easy for them to figure out exactly what actions get them your love and attention, and what actions get them nothing at all. Your calm but soft and clear command will bring them right back into that learning mode. They will understand that you are not challenging them, you are not their enemy, but you are guiding them like a leader. And this is the real turning point in your relationship, the exact moment when your bond gets even stronger. Trust me, you are not a bad owner, you are not neglecting them. You just want to keep them on the right path and teach them good things, because you love them like your own kid. But up until now, you were unknowingly using a language and a look that just felt like a danger signal or a death threat to them. Now, you know how terrifying and panic-inducing your calm, disappointed face can actually be to them. You are now an informed owner who can perfectly read their dog's emotions, their whale eye, and their stress signals. You now know how to go from being a scary predator to being a real guide, a loving leader. And this one small change, just this soft eye contact and redirection, will completely change your relationship and turn fear into trust. From now on, whenever they make a mistake, you won't give them that threatening look anymore, because you know it doesn't work. Instead, you will redirect them. You will teach them, and you will control them in a positive way. Because of this, your dog will stop looking into your eyes with fear, and they will look at you with trust. But I know very well that changing this old habit of ours is not a very easy thing to do. The idea we grew up with for years and years, that saying no is the only real discipline, is hard to flip in just one day. Besides, we humans love reacting emotionally, and getting angry is completely normal for us. But isn't your dog's trust way more valuable than that temporary reaction? Tonight when you get home from work, pay a little attention to yourself. Honestly, ask yourself, have you ever caught yourself giving your dog that look when they weren't listening to you? And when you stare at them with that steady, angry look, what exactly does your dog do? What does their body language look like? Do they look away, shrink down, or lick their lips in fear? Tell me the truth. Do you really want your dog to respect you out of fear and pure panic? Or do you want them to follow you out of love and trust?